Let's get to the story about Iran's President Hassan Rouhani. Like I said, we're going to play this clip from Rouhani. Understand what you're hearing is not necessarily, I think, by any accounts, really anything particularly new in terms of stated policy by Iran. However, it's being done in such a way that within the context of international politics really puts them on the line because they have come out so explicitly. And we're hearing from a guy who, one of the mistakes that people made about Ahmadinejad was they assumed that the president of Iran was necessarily had the same authority and same influence on the body politic that our president does. And Ahmadinejad was in no way the guy who pulled the levers in Iran. This is the Ayatollah Khamenei. And Ahmadinejad, despite the fact that he was also mistranslated in terms of what he said about wiping Israel off the map, we heard constantly a barrage to justify bomb Iran, to work this country up in a frenzy because of that statement over and over again. Well, now we have a new president of Iran, and this is what he had to say in an interview to NBC News and Curry just yesterday, I believe.
The world believes that Iran could build a bomb very quickly. You've said this period of time for resolving the nuclear issue will not be unlimited. Just how short is this window? Weeks, months, or years?
We have never pursued or sought a nuclear bomb, and we are not going to do so. We are solely seeking peaceful nuclear technology.
Can you say that Iran will not build a nuclear weapon under any circumstances whatsoever?
The answer to this question is quite obvious. We have time and again said that under no circumstances would we seek any weapons of mass destruction, including nuclear weapons, nor will we ever.
The Supreme Leader made a very strong statement just recently on diplomatic flexibility. He said, "I believe in what's already been called heroic flexibility. Even a wrestler can show flexibility." What does that mean to you, Mr. President? And what does it allow you in your negotiations on the nuclear issue?
In its nuclear program, this government enters with full power and has complete authority. I have given the nuclear negotiations portfolio to the Foreign Ministry. The problem won't be from our side. We have sufficient political latitude to solve this problem.
Pause it. All right, now this is really important because Ahmadinejad never had the ability to say that the Supreme Leader was, that basically his word was as good as the Supreme Leader's word. And what Rouhani is saying here is that I have full authority, that I have pre-cleared everything I'm talking about now. I have pre-cleared everything that we are able to negotiate. We have total flexibility and we have total sign-off. The government is not split. There is no conflict here. We have full authority to go forward. And he's also mentioning his foreign minister. Now, remember, don't make too much of this, but Rouhani issued a Happy Rosh Hashanah on Twitter, and in response to Christina Pelosi's response to him, you had the foreign minister write back, "Look, I want to wish you a happy Rosh Hashanah as well." The whole issue is that Ahmadinejad, and at one point I think Rouhani said, "Yeah, Ahmadinejad said that. He ain't president anymore."
That was the foreign minister.
That was the foreign minister. He's not president anymore. So they are clearly saying, as explicitly as possible, we are a new regime. We are a new regime with full backing from the Supreme Leader. We are saying in no uncertain terms, no equivocation, we will not, under any circumstances, seek to build a nuclear weapon. Now, this isn't to say like, okay, all bets are off, but this is a huge opening to pursue. It's very hard. It's going to be very hard for them to justify saying this and then not going down the road to steps where their promise can be verified. Continue on.
On Syria, President Rouhani said Iran played a major role in crafting the U.S.-Russia deal. Can you assure the world that President Assad will give up all of his chemical weapons?
We are not the Syrian government. We are one of the countries of the region that seeks peace and stability and the elimination of weapons of mass destruction in the entire region.
Do you believe the United States, President Obama, looked weak in backing off an airstrike on Syria?
We consider war a weakness. Any government that decides on war, we consider a weakness. And any government that decides on peace, we look on it with respect for peace.
I mean, I think that's you got to remember that these people have a domestic audience as well, too. And for them to go out and say this in such a straightforward way, they are marginalizing those voices domestically who are saying the opposite. And, in a way that it's very difficult for even President Obama to do in this country, frankly. And I think literally upon hearing this stuff, Lindsey Graham was immediately calling for some type of ramping up of military action against Iran. Because the biggest thing that these neocons like Lindsey Graham and John McCain fear is that they will not have a pretext for war. And this doesn't resolve anything, but it makes not pursuing and going down the road with Iran, it makes it irrational, it seems to me.